Hey, welcome back. Another edition of AFC Northerners, our post-draft recap. I'll get the introduction started. Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jan David Sutar, Ravens Nation.
Chris Atkins, Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
All right, so we'll go down the line. I'll get us started here. Bengals draft. Just one quick piece of news. Bengals did exercise the fifth-year option on Denard. We'll get to that in a little bit. Overall theme of our draft, there was two themes, actually. First of all, we apparently liked guys with the first initial of J because we got a John, a Joe, two Jordans, a JJ, a Jake, and a Josh. That's 7 of 11 guys have the starting initial.
I haven't
of J.
even run that stat.
So there you go. We like that. But our theme was speed. We went with the fastest wide receiver in Willis and Lawson, 2 great defensive ends we drafted. We drafted 2 of the faster defensive ends that were in the draft. Every single position that we addressed, we went with the fastest guys. So they're clearly trying to step up the speed on the team. And I also want to emphasize, we can't overstate the impact that Zeke Elliott had last year and Tyreek Hill had on this year's draft, because no one was taking a running back in the first couple rounds. Now we had 2 in the top 10 and the top 4 backs go quickly in the first 2 rounds. And then we had, no one was touching guys with off the field issues. Everybody was focused on Mixon, which the pick I called, by the way, but everybody focused on us taking Mixon. There were 10 guys with huge red flags. Raiders drafted a guy who just gave a DNA sample to the police in a rape investigation. You had,
and you know that's crazy because the Raiders are have had the least amount of arrests in the last 3 years.
D.D. Westbrook.
But the most penalties.
But the most penalties.
D.D. Westbrook, who was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars, has 4 arrests in his college stay. 3 years in college, he has 4 arrests. So, I mean, there were guys.
One a year.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
That's great numbers. Good statistic there, brother.
But I'm just saying, so we can't overemphasize how Tyreek Hill got teams to really, kind of take chances.
How many times was Pac-Man Jones arrested before he got drafted?
No, you have to ask the Titans. I didn't follow Pac-Man until we had him. So we didn't draft him. What's his face? Jeff Fisher did. So that was the overall theme. I think the Bengals made 2 mistakes, and they were not huge ones. I liked the Ross pick. What I didn't like was him at 9.
Yes.
So I had complaints during the first round, and I interacted. I think a lot of Reddit wanted O.J. Howard. We wanted Foster. So a lot of guys. Ross was not on our radar, but it's the season of misinformation, and the Bengals kind of played their hand down on who they were looking at. And the other mistake was when we traded back in round 2 and let the Vikings come up to take Cook. We should have got the Vikings 3rd rounder, not their 4th rounder. And the reason I say that is I talked in the last episode about Pat Elflein, the center out of Ohio State that I really wanted. Yeah. Well, who do you think the Vikings drafted? And their 3rd draft pick was Pat Elflein right in front of us. So had we got their 3rd, we could have got Elflein. So, but those are the only 2 mistakes. Other than that, I love the picks we've got. You're looking at some footage of Lawson. Absolute steal in the 4th round. This guy out of Auburn is an absolute beast. Also, you can see some footage of Jordan Willis, who's another. These are 2 really fast defensive ends. They have bursts off the line. They get in the backfield. They disrupt things. Jordan Willis has his paw sticking out there like Carlos Dunlap. So on the footage you're seeing. So I really like those 2 picks, and that's a signal to Michael Johnson that if he might not make the team. If these 2 guys really produce, he'll be gone. Also with Mixon on the team, I really think Jeremy Hill's gone. He could be traded. I mean, we could trade him to. We could trade Hill to a team like I saw an article today on one of the Bengals storylines on Facebook where they were talking about maybe the Eagles. We get one of their linebackers. So, but that's going to be the immediate impact. Also, Jake Elliott. Finally, I said we were going to take a 5th or 6th rounder on either Elliott or Zane Gonzalez out of ASU. Yeah. We took Elliott. Elliott was 201 for 201. Never missed a PAT in college. Don't think we lost 4 games because of missing extra points last year. Don't think that played into it. He probably wins the starting job. So that's just a quick recap on where we are. Also, the offensive line, J.J. Dillman we picked up. That guy, he was drafted as a center, but he played all the positions on the offensive line. So he's a very versatile lineman.
And you're 5 minutes.
And we drafted one last guy. We drafted Brandon Wilson, who's a safety out of Houston, who actually actually played in the defensive backfield with William Jackson III. So, and had 2 special teams touchdowns. So he should make an immediate impact on special teams as well. And that's the Bengal draft. We were happy with everything.
So, everybody ready to grade the Bengals draft on what we thought so far?
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right. On the count of grade, 1, 2, and grade.
Plus.
All right.
B plus.
I'll give a B
Okay.
plus.
All right, I'm going with the
I'll
A.
B plus.
I'm going with the A.
All right. Moving on to Browns.
Wait, who are you most excited about?
Who am I most excited about? Mixon. I think at the end of the 2017 season, the 2 best running backs in the league will both be in the AFC North. They're going to be Bell and Mixon. I really think they're set up for that.
So you're betting Mixon's worst days are behind him.
I'm betting Mixon's worst days are behind him.
Cool. Okay.
I think
All
he
right.
makes an
All right.
immediate
All right, guys.
impact.
We gotta
Let's
move
get
forward.
to dates. Let's
Yeah.
get to dates. Brown shit dates.
No, they have
May
too many
12th,
picks.
May 14th, rookie minicamp, May 25 to 25th, OTAs, the 30th to the 1st OTA, June 5 through 8 OTA, and June 12th through 15th is veteran minicamp. Everybody knows about the Barnage drop. That's because we got Joku, and I'm really like that pick, along with
Do you think
Caleb.
he's a day 1 starter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like that pick. I like the Brantley pick, and I like the Zane Gonzalez pick in the 7th. I thought we had a solid A, but I think when you talk about the UDFAs, that gives us that A plus. 9 out of the 11 were on defense. The other 2 were offensive players. We went into the draft with 11 picks. We came out of it with 10 picks made. As far as the UDFA guys go, Kei Anaku, safety BYU, Channing Stribley, CB from Michigan, and Alvin Hill, another CB from Maryland, are the guys that I think really have a chance at making this team. Just really super stoked to watch Garrett on the one side and Agba on the other side, and then we got a great run stopper up the middle with Shelton, and you throw in a very versatile safety, corner, linebacker in Peppers, and we're gonna play some really lights out defense this
What do
year.
you think they're going to put Peppers exactly? Like, it feels like they, you
Strong.
know. Yeah, like that's.
We'll have to see.
I think they're going to move him all over the place. I really honestly don't see him fitting in. I think when you make the announcement at the beginning of the game who your starting corner is, who your starting safety is, I think Peppers will be announced as the starting free safety, but I don't expect him to solely line up right there at safety. I see him playing like a hybrid type of role on defense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what your DC does with him.
I can see him rushing the corner or rushing the quarterback from the slot position, especially coming from behind of Garrett or behind on Agba. Who's the tackle going to block? Peppers or Agba? Peppers or Garrett?
Well, hopefully
Like,
the tackle blocks Garrett, and he leaves Peppers for the running back.
Yeah,
to pick
exactly.
up.
To try and hop on.
So, mentioning quarterbacks, it's interesting you didn't mention, or did I miss it, Kaiser?
No, he
No,
didn't.
I did not mention Kaiser.
Okay.
I in thinking about it, first round guys, I did mention Peppers. Kaiser was a second round guy. There's no expectation for him to start at quarterback this season. He's going to sit the bench. He's going to be the third string guy. I think we got 2 serviceable guys, and I think we have a legitimate guy in Kessler. I don't care about the arm strength. I would rather go down the field, have 10 plays of 5 to 10 yard passes than 1 play of 50 yards. By doing it like that, the quick short passes, we keep a defense on the field a lot longer, which allows our defense to rest. And that's huge coming down the stretch in the fourth quarter, especially when you hit games 13, 14, 15. Those weeks, you want a rested defense. And I think that's what happens with Kessler at quarterback.
Interesting. All right. So everybody ready to grade the Browns? And on the count of grade, 1, 2, and grade.
No way.
I can't believe I'm giving you guys an A.
I gave you a B, and I did it specifically
'Cause I gave you a B.
No, I gave you a B specifically because of Kaiser.
Yep,
I thought the Steelers in getting Dobbs did a better job in getting a developmental quarterback that I think actually could turn into a starter. Kaiser. I don't think Kaiser was a good pick in the second round.
I think
yeah,
Kaiser was an
I would-
excellent
I
pick
would
because
almost-
we allowed the draft to come to us. We didn't jump up and reach for
No,
a
I got
quarterback
that, but
like the Bears did. We didn't.
No,
do
no, no.
that.
You
We
didn't
let
jump.
draft
The
fall.
Bears, I give an F to because they mortgaged the future for nobody.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'm
Bears
just saying,
fans.
in the fourth round, you got Dobbs.
Yep.
I think Dobbs was a better quarterback.
Value,
in the
better
full value.
value.
But I think he's a
Okay.
better quarterback. I thought Mahomes, and I said this, but I don't know if I said it on the show. I know I said it to you. I thought Mahomes was the best quarterback in the draft. So I have
we
no
agree.
problem with the Chiefs trading up for him. I truly believe he's the most accurate. He's
I
got
think
the
that he's
most
going to do some
upside.
really
I think
interesting things in
Mahomes
Kansas
is
City.
Well, I think that that's
so
what happened.
I
when
dinged
we
you
trade-
because of Kaiser in the second round.
And Andy
I
Reid's like the
do.
quarterback whisperer.
Okay,
So
I think
I
what
know, and that's why I
happened-
like Mahomes. I think Mahomes is going to be a stud.
When Kaiser was
Incredible
picked,
job with Alex
we
Smith.
moved down
Incredible
from
job with
12,
Alex
and I
Smith.
think Mahomes was the target pick at for us when we dropped down to 25. Kansas City took Mahomes, and that left us going, okay, so let's go back
Right.
to defense. I honestly think they would have taken Mahomes right there with that pick in the first
Yeah.
round.
But I thought
The
Kaiser was a third. I mean, I just thought you should have taken Dobbs in the second round, or in the second round, or Dobbs even in the third round before the Steelers would have been a better pick than Kaiser in the second.
I think we would have gotten blamed for reaching for another franchise quarterback if
No,
we took him in the second
no.
round.
Yeah, but it's.
I'm just
come on,
explaining to you why I got.
I
the
get you.
Yeah.
We
What-
gotta,
I mean,
we gotta move.
With
Go
that
on.
many picks, I thought the only miss was not replacing Pryor early on. I thought that would have been a priority.
Yeah,
We replaced Pryor last year
Yeah.
with the Corey Coleman
With
pick.
Corey Coleman, exactly.
Terrell Pryor is done. He had
Yeah,
his magical year.
I'm really-
It's the same thing with Barnage in 2015. He had his year, and now he's on the downside of it. The guy's going to be 30 by the time he actually hits the expected age to excel at wide receiver in the NFL. I don't see it happening for him, especially in Washington. There's way too many mouths to feed right there.
I agree. I guess we're moving on.
We're on to Ravens. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Ravens. So I think we did a lot of wide receiver shopping and undrafted free agency.
Because you didn't do it in the draft.
Yeah, I know. We did not do it in draft. My biggest problem with our draft in general was that, and we talked about this earlier, is that I am of the camp that I do think that they went a little too heavy BPA.
A little too much.
A little too much. I think that the fact that I love the Humphreys pick. I love the Humphrey pick, but TJ Howard was available at that time.
OJ.
OJ Howard, what did I say?
Yeah,
there?
TJ.
OJ Howard was available at the
Yeah.
time. Juju was still available at the time for wide receiver.
Juju!
But at the same time, I'm not hating on the Marlon Humphrey pick. The fact that we didn't take any wide receivers in the draft whatsoever wasn't a fun feeling.
Yeah. Especially like we got Malone. We got a speedster in the fourth round. He was there for you.
I will say that I love the pickup of Bowser. I think that Bowser's great. I love some of the raw picks we picked up really had me questioning until I went back and looked at tape, and now I'm feeling a little bit better. Like Elamar. There was a few others that were. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot my notes. I left them at home because I was trying to prep for the show. But there was definitely a few that I was like, that's an interesting choice that we went there. Hell yeah.
Yep.
I would say that also other news, Terrence West re-signed him to a 1-year extension, 1.8 mil. I think that in general, we are definitely much better at defense than we were. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Where we were last year. I think that we
Agreed.
are stacked at corners. We really last year proved that you can't have too many corners.
No, you can't.
So I think that we're good there. I think it's going to be
Defense
interesting.
wins championships.
It really does. I mean, honestly, I feel like the draft itself has been talked to death. I will say that I loved that we are now back to being a hard-nosed defense team. And while, yeah, the wide receiver is still like a question mark, what are we going to do there, etc. I think that I can't hate on what Ozzie does until I've seen what he does, in the season. Because there's been so many times I'm like, what are you doing? With the exception of the Anquan Bolden pick, Ozzie. I still don't understand you on that. I'm not happy about that. I want Bolden back.
Well, you have a chance to get him.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I know.
Let's-
So I'm ready for
Let's
draft
give
grade.
the grade. Let's give the
All right,
Ravens
so
their
on
grade.
the count of grade 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Harsh.
General consensus. BC. I
me-
also didn't think you dressed
Go
the offensive line enough.
Yeah.
We didn't.
That was your
exactly
the
and
two
I-
biggest areas you didn't dress, which is I agree with Chris.
Exactly, and that's
So-
that's really interesting because Mangold is still out there as well. So, but I don't know how he's gonna like. Is he gonna play like a Raven?
Apparently, teams have asked him, will he consider moving to guard? He said no. If that changes, he has work immediately. Bengals will sign him. There's a lot of teams that'll sign him, but not as a center.
Yep.
So if he's willing to move to guard, he could be working tomorrow. It may be one of those veteran plays where he doesn't want to sign just yet because he wants to show up late in July and do his thing. That's
Still
just maybe a
resting.
veteran.
I mean, if that's what you really want, go ahead and take that guard position. If someone goes down, maybe you're the second string center.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I just don't like that. I just don't like saying, nah, no, thank you.
So
I'm
maybe the right team hasn't asked him.
Honestly,
That's
here's-
the
if you-
you're
if
talking
you
about a
want-
veteran
he
guy.
hasn't-
if you
wants a
want
team to go to.
absolute honesty, like I am holding my tongue on everything because I've never experienced a draft that was so BPA heavy.
Right.
Like, and so I don't. This is a true test of like that theory of BPA and what it's going to wind up doing
Right.
the rest of the year. So I have a lot of opinions, but I don't have solid footing on almost any of them. And I feel like I'm being wishy-washy, but I really legitimately like I don't know what that's going to look like come regular season. And I'm genuinely curious. On a whole, did I love our draft? I loved a lot of it, but there are definite things that I'm trying to figure out like where it's going to land. And I think that
Yeah.
I don't know, by game 1 or 2 of the regular season, I have a lot more questions asked, but that's also kind of pussyfooting around it.
All right, time will tell. Let's get on to the Steelers.
Your favorite pick.
My favorite pick, I love Humphreys, but I think that Bowser, I don't know, there's something about that kid watching him. Like I'm really interested to see what Bowser brings up. Teaming him up, Suggs, Bowser, like Sizzle and Bowser. That just sounds fun. It sounds like a fun thing to see what's going to happen. I also really do. There's like White picked up that Tim White pickup. I really enjoy that. I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens, especially in training camp and etc. So I think that there's a lot of question marks that are going to be answered at training camp as well.
All right, let's get on to our
Get on
7
to the
minutes of
Steelers.
Steelers news.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go in reverse
4
order
years of Steelers news.
from how we picked everyone. I'll
Talking
start
about
with,
how many rings they've got.
6. I'll start with Keon Adams,
1949.
who was a defensive end in college. Looks like he may be an outside linebacker in the league. I think he's going to be a good competition for Anthony Chickalo in training camp. We'll see how that competition pans out. Colin Hoba, we drafted this year's greatest long snapper. How exciting is that? 6th round,
guess
we go
it's
and get a
exciting
long
for
snapper.
That means
I
whenever
didn't
he
even get
screws up a long snap, we're all going to be like,
Yeah.
you fucked up! You fucked up!
Oh, mania.
So the wild card of this draft is definitely Brian Allen, who ironically was also the first rookie that we picked up.
Okay.
He is a corner, he's a safety, maybe he's a receiver. I just don't know how he's going to fit. I will say this, with Davis being the leader that he is on that defensive safety, I think he takes Allen under his wing. I think he kind of develops him a little bit. Joshua Dobbs. So football is not rocket science. Until now,
Until
unless
you-
you're
until you
Joshua
get a-
Dobbs.
We have an MIT guy.
So
So is he a rocket scientist?
He is an award-winning mathematician.
So he can't build a rocket, is what you're
Well,
saying?
he could figure out exactly how to make the rocket work.
Could he figure it out or can he do it right now?
I don't know. I'd have to ask
Joshua
him.
Dobbs can do it right now. So Joshua Dobbs is a very interesting pick because not only did Zach Mettenberger get iced 2 days later, like boom,
Yeah.
you're out of here. But I think now Bones Jones is looking in his rearview mirror like, oh my God, there's a rookie on my back right now. I either have to go out there and be the quarterback that the Steelers drafted me to be, or I need to get out of the way.
Well, I think he's going to get out of the way.
I think he's gonna get out of the way.
Dobbs will
I think
be
he's gonna get out of the way.
Be the backup by the end of the season.
Yep. Probably my favorite pick, James Conner, the hometown kid. This is such a great story. After having, I think the condition was leukemia.
Right.
Seeing him bounce back from that, I mean, that's not an easy condition to come back from
As
and
someone-
play competitive sport.
I mean, I read the kid's backstory, and is like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I had cancer whenever I was a kid, and I went through chemotherapy and stuff like that. It's not something I talk about a lot, but I know what that's like. And to come back from that and continue to push, like, good fucking credit to him.
Yeah,
Good job,
love him.
Really.
So you're gonna get a Connor jersey. So one thing I love about Connor, I read a lot about this actually because I was a little concerned about the health issues, and what I read is very encouraging. That condition actually takes about 2 to 3 years to really bounce back from. So this past season, he was not his strongest yet. He has more in the tank. He's going to get stronger from what we had seen this past season. So I'm excited about that. Cam Sutton might be the most interesting and the quickest to make an impact. He might be Willie Gay's replacement at cornerback, at that slot corner. I see him potentially having an impact very quickly as long as he can beat out Senquez Golston, who has not even worn a Steeler jersey in the past couple of years. So we'll see how that works. We have good juju now.
Yeah, you got
we
Juju.
have good juju. So Juju
Until
Smith,
it's bad juju.
Juju Smith was
right?
the most
I know.
questionable
This is what we're dealing with, man.
for me. I mean, he's a solid pick, but I really wanted Akella Witherspoon, who was drafted eventually at 66, just a couple picks after Juju. And I felt personally that a cornerback was a much higher priority for the Steelers than a receiver.
Right. Yeah.
But he's a solid receiver. We'll see how that goes. And I want to show the clip from a couple weeks ago for when I said the Steelers are going to go get J.J. Watt and the entire
TJ Watt.
You know what I'm talking about. T.J. Watt. And the entire couch says, oh,
D'Angelo
no,
Brown.
not going to happen.
TJ Howard. D'Angelo Brown.
No.
Not going to happen.
No. Fist bump. We both called 2. I called Elliott and Mixon.
That
you
reminds
called
me.
Connor.
That reminds me. Okay, so we have a very close-knit group here.
Yeah.
After the show, we hang out. Before the show, we hang out.
I
So
was saying
after the show last week, we had a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
$5
About
a
what
man.
happens, yes, if people nail a couple picks. So 2 of us nailed picks, 2 of us...
I nailed one of my picks.
One.
That's
you nailed
it.
2.
I
Nailed
got
2.
one.
So he chose $5.
There's some gentleman's business to be
So
had out.
you both get $10.
So Bengals and Steelers make some money.
Yep.
There you go.
There we
I
go.
hope that's
Okay.
the only
All
money
right,
you
so
make this
are we
week.
ready to give grades?
Yeah, all right. So grades on that.
You ready?
All right, on the count of grade 1, 2, 3, grade.
Plus.
Right.
The only thing that could have been better for me is if we would have got Witherspoon. I think he's going to be the future cornerback.
I'll have to give you guys a B+.
I gave you A because you got Watt, you got Schuster, who
Yeah.
I thought that should have been the second round pick by the Ravens. Should have been Schuster.
you know what? I don't disagree with you.
And I thought
But-
waiting, and you picked up Dobbs in the 4th round. I thought it was a great value pick.
Great,
so
yeah.
that's why I gave you the A. I thought we had an A.
Completely
I thought you
agree.
had an A, and I thought if I was giving pluses, you would have been a B plus, and you would have been a B minus.
Yeah.
Here's what I like
You would have
about
been a
our
B
draft.
minus.
We had what I would call a hybrid draft.
So
We had priorities, but we took the BPA
It remains
at
to
that
be
priority.
seen, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
agreed.
see.
So we did a mix of the 2. We took the best player available to cover the needs that we had. We didn't just go get whatever just because he was available. We picked people we needed that will make an immediate impact to our team.
Okay. Let's. Do we got a Reddit mailbag here?
Yeah. All right, so this is coming from the Steelers subreddit. Just so you guys know, this is our Reddit mailbag. We do this every week on AFC Northerners, and we ask fans from all the 4 subs, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, about the questions they have for us. And the first one comes from the Steelers, from Forged Iron Made It, from the Steelers subreddit, saying, Pac-Man Jones is yet more trouble. When are the Bengals going to discipline him and get him under control?
Well, they're not going to discipline him. They're either going to cut him or keep him. I've said this before. If they cut him, he's going to be a post 6'1".
Didn't he just I know that he just got car crashed, but didn't he have a one before that where
Well, he yelled at a reporter who asked him questions about the spitting on the officer and the whole arrest.
Yeah.
So like I said, and he has to get thicker skin and realize they're going to ask those questions. But in terms of this car accident today, if somebody hit my Rolls Royce and split, I'd be pissed too. So that's kind of more of just a bug hunt at this point when they're looking for stuff to report on.
All right, moving on to we'll do Ravens from the Towel Man on the Ravens subreddit. Should I buy Tyus Bowser's jersey now or later? Later. Never. I'm superstitious.
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, just I always wait on any draft picks jersey. I got burned badly with Matt Elam.
Yes.
Moving on to, let's do Bengals for everyone. Which non-draft pick player from another AFC North team do you wish your team could have?
Which non-draft player? So
Yeah.
you're talking about
Team players that we already have on our team
players that you already have.
from another AFC North team.
Well, you know what? I'd like an offensive lineman from your team.
Yeah, everybody would like
So
to.
that's
All right,
that's
so
pretty much.
that's your answer. Moving
Yeah.
on.
I would say I'd take a wide receiver. I'd take AB or AJ Green.
All right, I'm right there with you. I would take AB or AJ Green. AJ Green. You?
So there's a quarterback that's won 2 Super Bowls and none of you want him. I would probably take the ugliest person in the league and take Terrell Suggs to shore up that corner.
Well, he does make everybody look ugly. Yeah.
Including himself.
I'm all right with that. For let's see, going back real quick, we got time for 2 more. Steelers. What are the Ravens expecting out of their offense after doing nearly nothing to help it in the draft? I think you're going to see a lot of moves still in the offseason, still preseason, before the season starts. In Ozzy we trust. That's the best answer I got.
For at least one more year.
Yeah, exactly.
One more year.
So going over to Bengals, last one is, with all the possible punt, kick-off returners drafted, do you think Erickson will make the roster?
I don't know, and I just said this earlier. I really think with Lawson, or not Lawson, with the Malone and with Ross, I really think it's going to be tough. I think Erickson has a better shot than Core. I think Cody Core is probably gone.
If he can tackle, he can play that gunner position.
So, but I love Erickson's heart, so I would like to see. I have seen that we might carry 7 receivers, so we'll see.
All right, I got time for one more. Who is the replacement
man.
for Big Ben?
We just drafted him, Joshua Dobbs.
You think that's he's going to be the replacement
Rocket
for Big
scientist, yeah.
Ben? All right, guys.
Not Landry.
Landon Jones. All right, guys. So again,
Any shout-outs?
Yeah. Well, I don't have any shout-outs right now. We'll get that to on the next episode. Send in your questions also to us right here, AFCNortherners@gmail.com.
There it is.
You can also email us individually now. Bengals guy at AFC Northerners, DGBG at AFCNortherners.com, Ravens guy at AFCNortherners.com, and Steelers guy at AFCNortherners.com. So if you have individual questions for us, you can email us there. You can also comment on the subreddit, and we have our own subreddit now. It is AFC Northerners subreddit. We're going to be a lot more active in there. So please, send us in your questions. We love answering them online
Absolutely.
and on the show.
All right. Anything else, guys?
You said you had a shout out?
Yeah, my buddy Robbie just had his 3rd kid. He had another Steeler baby. Robbie,
Just what we need.
yes.
Another Steeler
yes,
baby.
Congratulations.
Yay.
The
to you
world
and Alley
mourns.
Cat.
Another baby in drab colors.
Congratulations on the child.
There you go. Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right, well, if that's it, let's sign off as we always do with...
Fuck the Patriots!
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.